This video is going to review how to solve quadratics. Now remember, a quadratic is something that has an x squared involved, and we're going to be solving for x. The key here is first to make sure that your quadratic is in factored form, meaning it's written with parentheses. The second thing is to make sure it equals 0. And then after that, you can use the zero product property. Now remember, and actually I lied, these two should be separate first, or the other order. First you want to make sure it equals 0, then you want to factor. So let's go ahead and take a look at this first one. It's in factored form and it equals 0, so it's just ready to use the zero product property. Now the zero product property tells us when we have two things being multiplied together to equal 0, that either x plus 4, the first factor, has to equal 0, or x minus 3 has to equal 0. Now we just solve each of those equations for x, so we get negative 4 when we subtract 4 from both sides, and we get 3 when we add 3 to both sides. So there's two solutions here, x equals negative 4 or x equals 3. This next one, once again, it's in factored form. Now sometimes it's confusing like this because that first one doesn't have a parentheses, but really you could think of it as having a parentheses. And in the end, it just means x equals 0. So this one's already solved for us. We set that other factor equal to 0 when we solve. So we'll add 1 to both sides. 2x equals 1, and now we have to divide by 2. And we get an answer of 1/2 in the end. So our two solutions would be 0 or 1/2. Now this last example is not in factored form. So the first thing you'll have to do is factor, and if you're struggling with factoring, you're going to want to make sure to go back right now and practice factoring first. So we're going to start with a rectangle, and remember we're going to put the x squared in the bottom corner and the 4 across from that, and we'll multiply across that, and we get 4x squared, and on the bottom we'll get 3x. And again, if you're struggling with this part, you're going to want to go back and watch the factoring video. Now we're looking for two things to multiply to 4x squared and add to 3x, and I think it's going to be 3x and x. And now we can find the outsides. X times x is x squared. We're going to get a plus 1 and a plus 3. So our factors are x plus 1 and x plus 3. And now that equals 0. Now we have the same kind of question before. We're going to take x plus 1 and set it equal to 0, and x plus 3 and set it equal to 0. When I solve each, we'll start by subtracting 1 from both sides, and we get x equals negative 1, and minus 3 from both sides, and we get x equals negative 3. I'd like you to try these ones now, and when you're done with them, you can bring them up to Mrs. Alberg and have her check them, and then you can take your concept check.